February has started off strong. Lewis Hamilton has announced that he's going to Ferrari to partner Charles Leclerc for 2025, which does indeed end his Mercedes contract prematurely. Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari. It's a pipe dream. And then on top of all of this, LEGO go and drop 4 brand new Formula 1 related sets that are due to come out in March. Now the season may not have begun yet, but what a way to start the year. So today I want to get you all up to date with the world of LEGO Formula 1 and provide all of you with my honest and truthful opinions on the 4 brand new sets coming our way in March. And it's a bit of that. On one side, I'm very happy, but then there's this. So let's get going then. We're getting a $220 £200 Mercedes W14 Technic set, a much smaller pullback $27 £21 version of the same set, along with a $27 £21 version of the MCL60 McLaren Speed Champion. And indeed, the best bit of all of this, we're getting the iconic McLaren MP4 Ayrton Senna car. Timestamps are available if you want to skip to certain sets, but we'll go through all of them each individually in the same order as I mentioned before, and I'll give you all my honest thoughts and opinions on each of these sets due to come out on March the 1st. And as a lifelong F1 fanatic, what a week to remember. The Mercedes W14 $220 LEGO Technic set 42171. I'm sure a lot of you are aware this is very similar to the $200 McLaren released in 2022, and I do have very much mixed opinions on this. On the one hand, yes, it's another large-scale, highly detailed F1 car to add to my collection, but on the other hand, it just doesn't look quite right. If I show you a comparison to the real-life W14, you might just understand a bit more of how I'm feeling. The back of the car looks great, the stickers don't seem to be awkwardly cut like they were on the McLaren from 2022. And of course, let's not forget the slick wheels, which look so much better than the strangely included wets on the McLaren, even though I'm not sure whether these are hards, mediums, or soft with the missing stripes. It's much more appealing, but the front is just way too wrong for me. I understand LEGO trying to maximize the curves and the detail of the W14, but you know the saying, sometimes less is more? That's definitely where the McLaren excels over this new Mercedes. It's a nice model to have. I can justify the $20 price increase with a couple hundred more pieces, but Formula 1 cars, they're supposed to be flowing and soothing on the eye. And in this moment in time, I'm not really feeling it, which has indeed left me slightly disappointed. The other Mercedes car set to come out is a $27 pullback version of the same model. Again, I think the concept is good, but the execution isn't. The same problems reoccur with the clunkiness of the model, but rather this time the front looks great, but what is going on with the back? I know it's down to the mechanics of having to install a pullback motor, and it's not exactly a small piece. I think the majority of fans would agree with me, but it just looks way too jacked up to the point I'd rather there was no pullback feature included, and instead we just got another more affordable Mercedes-Benz to add to our collection. But with the already existing Mercedes Speed Champions 2-pack, I can see why this isn't the case. I can see this set certainly being more popular with younger collectors, of course down to its playable features, but it's not going to go down so well with the adults. For me, this set's a bit unnecessary and it's not really wanted, but most likely down to LEGO's licensing and not having the access to most Formula 1 teams, it potentially overloads collectors with way too many Mercedes-related F1 sets, just for the sake of having them out there. I don't know, I'd like to see this set in person before I draw some solid conclusions. But now the negatives are all out the way, the next 2 sets I have nothing but positives to talk about. Outside of the Technic range, however, similar to the Mercedes, Speed Champions are introducing another stunning F1 car to the theme with the McLaren MCL60. I have nothing but positives to talk about for this set. The printed chrome tyres look amazing, and thankfully the Pirelli stripe is included on this model. Yes, there's going to be a lot of sticker pieces, as included with all of the F1 sets, but for the size of the model and the overall price of $27, I really do think this overall outcome is just excellent, and I especially cannot wait to get my hands on it in March. The minifigure included comes in this really nice looking McLaren racing overall style prints, but if I were to pick the standout feature of this set, the black and orange contrast works very well together, and the overall shape of the design has been captured very well. It certainly looks like an F1 car, especially with the curves and the side pods and the open wheels. The rear wing and DRS structure doesn't look to have as good of a design as we saw within the Mercedes 2-pack, but it's okay. I wouldn't say it takes anything away from the model. There even seems to be printing on the steering wheel, which very much takes it away from the Xbox controller look, and it adds just a little touch of class. Something that cannot be overshadowed, I'd say, is a very nice inclusion. But as I mentioned before, the new Pirelli styled wheels along with what seems to be Google printed hubs brings this model to life. A brilliant little inclusion I'm extremely pleased that LEGO hasn't overshadowed. That I think we can all agree on. But it's definitely a set I'll be grabbing on the 1st of March, and I'm sure it'll be very popular amongst all LEGO fans and racing fans as a whole. Now this final set on the way in the March Formula 1 takeover gets me extremely excited. It's one of my favourite F1 cars of all time, but the McLaren MP4 is on its way in LEGO. Based off the iconic 1988 season in which McLaren McLaren won 15 out of the 16 races, finishing 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship, with Ayrton Senna pinching it by 3 points over his bittersweet rival Alain Prost, whilst dominating the Constructors' title over Ferrari as well. Arguably one of the most iconic, if not greatest F1 car ever designed. I'm sure Max Verstappen and Adrian Newey would have something to say about that. But for $80 or £70 here in the UK, it's on its way to Lego. And I'm not lying when I say it's the most excited I have been over a Lego set, probably ever. The build itself seems to capture the white and red of the MP4 exceptionally well. The open wheels connected through what I believe to be a new Lego piece for the push and pull rods. It really looks incredible, with the much more minimal 1980s look of an F1 car seeming to be portrayed perfectly. From a first look, I honestly have no issues with this model whatsoever. I love talking about Lego wheels, and it seems to be that we're getting a new piece included within this set. Thankfully not skimping out and even duplicating the likes of maybe even the McLaren. Okay, so I'm going to have to pause the video right there. I'm an absolute plum for not spotting this whilst recording, but thank you to my friend Charles for pointing this out to me. But what is going on with Lego not including the larger rear wheels? I don't know if they're skimping out or just trying to save some money on productions, but the cars from this time are iconic for having larger rear wheels, in which of course they used to generate more grip on the track. So I don't know why Lego haven't gone and included this, but it's definitely something to factor in if you're going to go and buy this set. Sadly, it's something that once you've seen, you can't unsee. So hopefully someone can find a way to upgrade this once the set is released. But a big no-no and a big failure there from Lego. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video. The build itself seems to be proportionally larger than Speed Champion sets, but certainly smaller than the likes of the Technic McLaren and Mercedes. It can be displayed on a tilted grey stand connected to a plaque telling you all the stats and figures as to how successful and dominant this car was. Now, along with all of this, you'll notice a certain minifigure included of the great Ayrton Senna. The minifigure itself is fantastic, especially coming in this really well-designed cross-stitch set of overalls, printed on both the torso and legs. Adding to all of this, it sits on its own little plaque with a quote from Ayrton Senna reading, "No matter what your dream is, you have to dedicate yourself entirely to it." Followed with an Ayrton Senna printed signature and a black and white picture of the iconic racing driver. A wonderful little touch from Lego. And before I forget, you also get this awesome looking helmet replicating the classic yellow and green design Ayrton used to race in. I mean, honestly, this set looks phenomenal. I cannot wait for its release. And for $80, I honestly have no complaints. I was very hesitant to believe the rumors of this set being true, but to see it officially on the Lego website gets me extremely happy. And as a fan of Ayrton Senna and indeed Formula 1, this set will hold a very special place amongst my collection, as I'm sure it will with a lot of other collectors, such as maybe yourself. So to round all of this up, 4 brand new Formula 1 sets have officially been revealed and confirmed to be releasing on the 1st of March 2024. Drive to Survive is releasing later this month, and Lewis Hamilton has announced that he's ditched Mercedes to join Ferrari for 2025. What a week in the world of Formula 1. Make sure you're subscribed to see all my upcoming reviews on all these sets coming next month, and to keep up to date with any future news. I'll catch you all later. Bye guys. Or now should I be going ciao? Probably no. Yeah, that was bad.